Okay, good.
Okay, we will. Hello, beautiful people. I don't have a mic.
Okay, what's going on, beautiful people? Today, we're going to have a great time and a great conversation. As always, welcome to Beautiful Scars. And we're here with Dr. Crystal Garrett, myself, David, the other Crystal, Wilson, and Tori. And we start off with a great conversation on the way here about mental health, especially in our communities where it usually goes unnoticed or unidentified. And we're trained to sit back and say what goes on in this house stays in this house. Even though a deep part of us may be screaming out loud where nobody else can hear because we're internalizing these secrets. And so it causes other things, depression, anxiety, and all this, these different uh, attacks that are not really who we are or who we've become. And so hey, we're just gonna get right into it because I know myself, I suffer from depression, anxiety, ADHD, and I was an addict. Uh, and I came out of one of those households where we were able to speak freely inside the house, but I wasn't able to basically act how I wanted to act outside the house. What I mean is, I was really a goofy. I'm still goofy, and I that was looked down upon like being goofy, being smart. So I just turned into a street nigga, and but I didn't want to be that. And so things that were never dealt with. I was diagnosed with ADD. I was very young. There was no such thing as ADHD. And so people would look at me strange, like, why are you doing it? You don't see something's wrong? Like, obviously, who wants to be in there, know you're intelligent, but you in there with the carpet kid?
The
Like,
way who
the carpet kid.
Oh, okay.
They had to be on.
Yeah,
And so
I got you.
and now people making fun of you. And so you got all these different things growing up. And the way I express myself is through anger. I want to put my hands on it. You talk about me, I'm gonna drag you to hell, stand on it, and the fight go with it. And I'm still coming in a little bit. I won't fight you, I'll drag you here. That was my quick spiel.
Okay.
Now, Dave, you was in arm.
Yes, sir.
There gotta be some. You had to see things. How did it affect your mental?
I'm not right mentally. I have a lot of, like you say, depression, a lot of anxiety. So, and a lot of stuff that happens, like you said, I internalize it until it eats me up, and then I explode on the wrong person, which I'm getting better at.
Okay.
Working on it, but it's a working process, progress. Yeah, my anger is, I would say I went from like an 8 or 9 to about a 5.
Okay. That was a good one. 8 or 9.
Yeah, to about a 5. So, which means, I still got it in. But yes.
Yeah. I know that so often you just kind of.
Yeah, so sometimes, you gotta let people know that, I still got it.
I know that's right.
Push over. I ain't no push over. It's easing up. It's just being.
Can't bully me. I think that's why God made my hands. I can't, after the surgeries and all that, I can't use my hands like I used to. But I can palm you. Palm the. Let me stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't be talking about violence.
I'm playing, man. What about you? Yeah.
Yeah, so same. I suffer with ADHD. I think I explained it a couple episodes before. Bipolar, depression, anxiety, that sort of thing. So definitely suffer from PTSD, and I also was in the military. But I will say this: PTSD definitely stems not just from the military. I think it stems, in growing up, right? We all had some kind of PTSD growing up that we didn't realize until we got older that it was actually PTSD. Whether that was, listening to your parents argue behind closed doors and, witnessing, family abuse, that sort of thing. I think people need to understand that PTSD comes in many different forms. You can develop PTSD from school, like you said, kids making fun of other kids, right? You develop a PTSD of speaking in public or that sort of thing. So, yeah, mental health is definitely serious. I think we talked about that on the way here, especially with addiction and mental health is a lot, and there's many different addictions. So, yeah,
Yeah.
food addiction. I mean, all of that. So, definitely, I'm big on.
Yeah, I try to be. Like I say, I'm a working product. I know it's your turn, Tori, but I was. Yeah, like you say, it comes from many different facets of life.
Mm-hmm.
With my daughter's passing, I got PTSD from that. With growing up, my father's passing, I'm only 7, PTSD from that. So it comes from a lot of stuff. School, bullying, military. So yeah, it's real. Please talk to somebody.
It's real, man.
And it'd be best if you talk to a certified, somebody licensed. But just get it off your chest if you have to. Talk to your brother, your sister, your mother, your best friend.
Talk to your piece of paper. Talk to your journal.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's things that you don't even know how to bring about, even talking to a doctor, right? Because the fear of it is, oh my God, they're going to judge me.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what we were taught in school. At home, you worry about what other people think about you. You don't let people know what's going on in your household. So you develop this stigma of, oh my God, if I tell this person how I'm really feeling, or if I tell this person what really went on in my life, they'll judge me. So, for those that aren't comfortable with talking to people, I journal.
That's that. That's how I wrote my book. See, it was just journaling. And the one thing that I always say about writing, it slows your brain down. We are so used to just typing it in, it's auto correcting, and you just go. But you sit down and actually write, your brain is processing these things differently. It's uncovering a lot of filth that has been masked over the years. But I'm sorry, too. It's your turn. Okay.
You were in the middle of saying something.
No, and so like I was able to take everything that I've journaled. That's when I said, let me just put it in ChatGPT so it can outline everything for me. Then I'm able to tell my therapist, this is what happened. I know it's affected me. Can you help me figure out why and how do I deal with it? Because we tend to go through life and not deal with these things. We just, it's like, oh, I have it. But no, it did something to you. The first time that I came was from my babysitter molesting me. That's like giving a child 12 years old the keys to a car and telling them to go drive. Because then my perception of women changed. Now it's like, they just hear my pleasure. And so I never really learned how to love. I just, did my thing and kept going. But those are the type of things that we just don't deal. We don't talk about that. People too embarrassed. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a damn what nobody think about me. You wasn't there when I was through. You wasn't there afterwards. All people do is talk. So I've learned to just shut up the noise, and that how do y'all deal with y'all's as it pertains to all these?
I think again, you had discussed this. My mom used to always say, "You talk too much. You tell too much of your business." And my response to that was, well, one, I really don't care what people think about me because I know who I am. But also, two, my story might be someone else's story. Their story might be somebody else's story. So when you hear this story, what seems taboo in your own life right now may not be so taboo because you realize, oh wait, there's 20 of us going through the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not just me. But because we hold on to that, you don't talk your business, you don't speak your mind, and you keep certain things secret. I don't know that our sister over here is struggling with the same relationship problems I'm struggling with because I want to keep that's my business and I need to keep it inside the house, right? Or mental stuff with you. I don't understand what you're through. Or I feel like I'm the only one that lost somebody and I'm depressed and I'm going through and you're not realizing I'm sitting next to someone who lost their daughter who also has the same. And you can kind of bond over those experiences. And I think if we just talked more about our life experiences, we can help each other out in some shape, form, or fashion.
You're absolutely right because we were talking, we were just pointing out signs. I can never explain to you the ADHD brain is thing you think you can understand. There's no way in God's green earth you will ever understand what's going on in my mind if you don't have it. You can read books about it, people go to school about it. Those they get. But I can't talk to a person with a normal head and tell what my crazy head is thinking because it's not what when you have that mixed with dyscalculia, like those things, I can't tell you why I see a number 6 as a number 9. What that don't make sense to you, but it make perfect sense to me. Me having to say, "Hey, I'm not listening to you right now." Most people think they're rude, but I'm really not. You talking and you sound like that teacher on Charlie Brown. Sorry. True. It's the truth, man. Yeah, because people get frustrated with us, and um, is why you don't do this, why you don't do that. Did you ever take the time to think, maybe that just wasn't on my mind? At the time, that was not what's important to me. Right now, I just want to go get me a cup of coffee, and I don't want to make up my bed. I don't want to fold my clothes. I don't want to do none of that. I'm focused on this coffee right now. Let me get that coffee and go to the next step. Instead, people like try to push their normal head onto somebody's head. That's like telling paralyzed me. All you gotta do is get up and walk. What the hell? Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna ever be able to think like y'all. I hear music differently. Like I see music. Y'all listen to it. I'm watching it going on around me, and I don't even hear the words. I tell you my favorite song and can't even tell you the lyrics to it. Well, that's how does that affect your sleep?
What's that?
What's sleep? For real.
It really is sleep. Regardless of what time I go to bed, I'm waking up 20:50 and 3:10 every night. I can go to bed at 12, 1 o'clock. For some reason, I wake up at 3 something. And I'm up for it. Sometimes I'm up the rest of the day. Around probably doze off for about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, sleep is
This
not, there you go. It's probably the proper word, but yeah, non existent pretty much. And let me ask you this: when you go ahead and what is
Who defines what normal is? What does that even mean nowadays?
The world around us.
So
is-
what is normal?
So it's the if you open the book and it is Bill jumped over the broom to get to the other room. Well, your brain is going to tell you that Bill jumped over this room in order to get to the other room. My brain is going to say, why in the hell is he jumping over a broom? So I missed the whole point of everything.
Yeah.
That's not the perfect example I can give you. So in the same thing, this copy. So 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4 to you. But my brain is going to say, why is that normal? Why is that normal here? What if over in China, it's 2 plus 2 equals 7? Like that's how our brains work. So that's for us because we're the minority. It's abnormal.
I think it's the money. I think everyone, no matter what race you
Come on.
got a systematic way of
Yeah.
you are considered this is right and this is wrong. But there's more than one way to get to one destination. So you don't have to go by this certain geography plan. You don't have to go by that just to get to that destination. So when you say this is right or that's wrong, I would consider all of that. Because right might lead you to the destination that you want to. And
See-
we all want to.
Tori, when you turn that paper, it comes as an F. And this is the only way they teach you. They don't. There's very few schools that really specialize, have specialty teachers that teach us. We get dumped in the classroom with everybody else. You either learn this way or you're not. When I turn that paper in, if it ain't the way it's supposed to be, I'm flunked.
So at what point do we say that we have not flawed individuals, but a flawed system?
That's always the issue.
I would have to piggyback off that. So when you look at people like Castanet, he went the orthodox way to get to win,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
And people say it's okay just because he's there right now. But in the beginning, I'm pretty sure they're like,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna make it. You can't do it like that. You know? And we are all faced with that right there. No, it's a systematic way of doing things. And I don't think that's right.
No, it's absolutely wrong on how we are treated, but the system is the system, right? But so those same kids who used to make fun of us, they're part of the system. We grow up outside of that system, so we have to adjust ourselves to what people in society say is normal. And I'm telling you, for me, it frustrates me.
But it's okay to say that they're wrong. We don't have to abide by what they say. It's okay to say they're wrong.
But then I
It's
flunk.
okay.
Then I flunk.
We're not in school.
No, we not, but they are.
Yeah,
A lot of their kids are. A lot of people are watching this right now and think that something's wrong with their kid. They teach them different. They fuss at them. They argue with them. And yes, we can say it's wrong all day. But when them grades come back as L's, who is wrong?
So why do you think that it's still hard for people, especially in our community, to talk about mental health?
Because we're ashamed of it. We, first off, just us alone, lost our whole identity. So we're not even we don't care about what's going on in our own homes. And we hide things. We manipulate things. So even in our systematic family structures, our self-esteem is so low and it's taught to us that way. So our kids grow up mean. They grow up. It is really fun in our communities to scold each other. I'm one of the best, but that's normalized, and so when those things are so embedded in what's like our daily lives, and we already have our own struggles as little children. So this starts with us. I don't know about Crystal. Mine started at a very early age because one part I'm highly intelligent, but the other part I geek. And so we're not systematically designed to deal with it because we never had to. Slavery never we never were in the 60s, the 70s. We were taught you don't go to a psychiatrist.
Well, you were brought up learning that, that for a black woman, you're a strong black woman, and I am a strong black woman. I think all black women are strong. I think women are strong, not just black women, but I think that's because that's what has been taught to us. We also grew up, knowing that don't talk to a doctor. What is a psychiatrist? Psychiatrists are for crazy people or
That's right.
other people.
Yep.
It just goes to show just how we carry these same things, generation to generation. Same thing, the stigma of black men going to a doctor. That we make that a joke, but that's true. But that's because we've always been taught, oh, black men don't go to doctors, black people don't go to doctors, black people don't go to dentists, black people don't do this. So I think it just, again, it's hard to get out of that headset when it's the way you've been raised.
So
And
how do
parents-
we make that shift to shift from thinking that therapy is weakness to knowing that there is wisdom in that?
I think that's a hard one.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I sit on that one for a second.
I think for a lot of it is those of us who have been through, we need to tell our stories. Because we need to let people know this. I used to be a certain person, right? And my nickname was Big K, and I had a whole persona, and I lived up to it. And then, but therapy turned me and showed me who Kendon is, and that's why I am talking about these beautiful scars. But there was still is a lot of therapy that's happening because I'm still unpacking a whole lot in my own life. And so I'm able to talk about it because there's healing on the other side. So we have to talk about our journeys through and why it's okay to sit down with someone who specializes in it. I will not take a damaged car down the street to my little cousin's house who ain't never worked on the car. Why would I take the same internal problems in his space that I'm in to my cousin who's never went to school to study the human brain? We got to start thinking logically.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, and I think we're gonna start where it needs to start with our generation, because I feel like we are not more woke than our ancestors, but I think that we are our generation is slowly understanding that mental health is serious. That there is, some things is mental health. So I feel like, for the generations coming up, we need to start telling our kids it's okay to see us being okay with going to a psychiatrist. We need to talk to our kids about what we did in our past or what led us to this point, instead of saying, oh, don't do as, and this saying has to go. Don't do what I do as I say. Without explaining, what it is that you did and why you're telling them not to do this.
Yeah.
But I think we just hide so much, and we just gotta come out of it. Who cares if somebody's judging you because, again, I'm just gonna bring this up, because you and your man are going through something, your girlfriend are going through something. Who cares? That's not embarrassing. What's embarrassing about it? Because half of the world is going through the same thing.
That's right.
So I think we need to stop thinking that everything is abnormal. If I have an issue, Dr. Crystal, and I don't know if you're gonna understand me or not, but I just need to let you know. On Saturdays, I like twirling in the pink tutu, wearing purple heels. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's. I mean, I'm making it funny, but what I'm saying is,
I'm laughing because I've been like, more power to you.
but instead of worrying about what Dr. Crystal's gonna say, I said that because I needed somebody to know I had to get that off my chest.
Right.
And sometimes you should just drop stuff off. People drop stuff off on you all the time. Sometimes just drop it off. drop it off to a stranger. Hey, stranger, you know what? Today is a beautiful day, but guess what? I got on. That's out.
Yeah. So how do we support our friends and family who we can clearly see that they're not stable right now or they're not fine right now, but they say, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay.
That's a good question.
Come on, three questions.
And I wish people would ask me,
Okay.
are you okay?
Uh-huh.
Do you need it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fine? You know, just questions.
Yeah.
I don't need the answer. I don't need the answer. What I need is somebody to be concerned about me.
Yeah.
Just somebody not concerned about me.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I got cut you off.
Oh, good.
Would you tell them the truth?
When I tell you, because see, if
Like, I think I said it in, so when people ask me that, I don't think they genuine.
well,
So I just say, I'm fine.
my thing is this with that. You gotta really ask me if you don't want this.
And see,
I'm going.
No, that's right.
I got a phone. I will touch because you do not have nothing to ask me.
If you don't want
You
that,
opened up Pandora's box.
But I think just like last month was a great example, right? I was just, I was not people. Excuse me if I was rude.
He was not people.
I was in I probably should have went outside and put some trees. I was in that type of mode, yeah. But there was a couple of days went by until it called, and it was a wellness chick. I love those three questions to her, but I always ask it, what's your mental? We don't ask each other what, because we're so, you ask somebody what their mental is, they gotta slow down. They can't just say fine. Then I ask, what do you mean your feeling words? Like what how are you angry, sad, disgusted? What are your feeling words?
Right. But I think sometimes we have to learn how to be good listeners too. Back to the question I think was asked about, how do we, if we know a family member or someone is not in the best headspace, sometimes we have to be quiet and listen. And I think sometimes that's all people need sometimes to just be able to get it off their chest. Okay, well, are you sure you're okay? Well, you know what? Girl, I'm not that fine. So let me just tell you about what's going on with me today. Since you're fine, let me, and try to bring it to them. But I think sometimes they just need a listening ear, but people also need to see, you have to lead by example. So I can't constantly call you and say, hey, Dad, how you doing? You doing all right today? And expect the answer when you ask me the same thing and I tell you, oh, I'm fine. Today, good, right? So yeah, it's a tough
So
one.
whoever we're talking to, who's ever talking to us, we're going to learn to
Learn how to open up
learn how to communicate.
and listen, because
Yeah.
listening is a big part.
Now, listening is great because I think I've been told that quite a few times. I don't need this from. I think we do this. I'm not looking for an answer. I'm looking at it, and I just need to do this.
And then when that person vents to you, you can't take it and run back down the street and tell 25 other people.
Yeah.
So that's one of the other blockers is, why people don't really want to talk is because, oh, well, then if I tell this person, they're gonna tell all my business, and so it's a challenge.
Very much.
Yeah, definitely is a challenge.
But when you listen,
Oh, I took it and ran with it, so I'm good.
if you listen, most of the times people become their own psychologists. They actually find out through talking and speaking, like, oh, say, appreciate it, I got it. Because when you're just internalizing it, it's just in there, and it sits still. And this is what I know about darkness. It's the most patient thing in the world, and it will wait till the right moment, grab a hold of your ass. It ain't letting you go. And so when you're able to vent, you're like, oh, that gummy, that's the problem. I need to just say that, thank you. Because and then even when you listen, you learn to ask the right questions. Because we tend to get into a block of our feelings. and we let feelings define our emotions. And so instead of our emotions defining our feelings, feelings are temporary. So when you make your mind up and actually make a decision, your feelings will catch up, but you have to have your emotions in check. And that's where I struggle with that, to be quite honest, because I'm very blunt, and I do not give a damn what nobody thinks about me. I don't care, and that's a dangerous place.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it
It's
is.
got
With my
me.
mouth, it is.
I just got there like 5 so years ago to where I don't really care, but
Yeah.
I like it.
Me too.
I mean, don't be, I like it. Because I mean, you can be free. You don't have to worry about.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's how I say it is my problem. Yeah,
Well, that's because you still have feelings, emotions attached to
is
that.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
my wife says it too.
Mhm.
Hey, what you say is how you say it.
My mom just told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't listen to how. Just listen to what I say.
It don't work like that.
Going back to what you said.
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah, it don't work like
Yeah,
that.
well, I'm just
Can't
saying.
words hurt,
Words hurt.
and the manner in which you say words sometimes can cut a person so deep, and that person, and sometimes that words will keep somebody from talking to you because you're leery about what they're gonna say. Because last time I tried to open up to you, you shut me down.
And it's not always what you say, but it's how you made me feel when
Right.
you say that.
And those words you can't, actions, you can get over actions all day. Words, you hear that word over and over again. So the next time you try to go do that action, even with somebody else, I hear that word in the back going, nope, that's not it. Nope. You remember last time you tried this, they said you were stupid. So you feed on that, you play on that. It's serious.
That's their darkness.
And I've learned
Words are horrible. When you say
That
them.
they are.
Well, they're powerful.
They
is what they
there,
are.
there we go.
it.
Yeah,
Good
because
word, yeah.
that's exactly where they are. They words can hurt somebody so much they'll kill you.
Mm.
And we see it in these school shootings.
Every day.
We see it in people, especially men, who are over emotional and
Not allowed to express their emotions.
There you
Being
go.
taught that men don't cry, men don't feel,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Mhm.
I say there's a way I describe it all the time. And you have a little girl and a little boy. And this is how we treat our kids. And it's not fair to these men that don't know how to express themselves. But the little girl's running around, she falls. You pick her up, oh baby, it's okay. Let mommy kiss it, blah blah blah. The little boy falls down
Get up.
and breaks his ankle. You tell him,
Shake it
get up,
off.
stop crying.
Mhm.
Men don't cry. Are you a little boy or are you a little girl? We have to stop doing that. It doesn't matter what sex you are. We all are built the same way. We all have the same emotional capacities. But you guys, as men, have been taught men don't cry, men don't share, men are strong. No, men are not strong. You guys are built just like women.
Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of, but yeah, not like that. But
Yeah,
you know what I
same.
mean, as far as emotions and how to handle them. But I think it is like you said, they're just tough, and it's sad at a young age that you don't cry.
Some of that, especially in our with black men, is we have to be tough because of what we have to face every day.
But being tough,
I'm talking about from the physical falling down part. I can tell you it hurt, but yeah, I better hurry up and put my bootstraps on
Yeah, but
because
what does that teach you when you fail at 5 years old and you fail at 6 and you fail at 7? That every time you fail and a tear wanted to fall, what did you hear?
well, that's why they don't go to the doctor.
Exactly.
that's facts.
It all comes back. It's all connected.
Yeah,
I go
yeah, I do too now.
But no, it is. I mean, if you constantly hear that, that tells you what? Oh, no matter what, I better not go say nothing or complain because I'm supposed to be tough.
Mm.
You're a child and you're hearing, don't cry, stand up.
Yeah, man.
Give me. This is a 5-year-old boy.
Right.
So
You got a minute for that.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I remember one time. Sorry to tell the story, Daddy, but I said it when I was preaching. But we were riding our bikes, and my daddy, his bike and our bike collided. I had a big old knot on my head. My dad said, go put some Windex on that. That's kind of, he didn't have a father. So he's figuring things out. And but his manhood was beat up. I mean, my dad 5'7" and had the largest game in North Carolina. You know, that was him. That's how his thinking of a man was. And so he projected that on me. And then as we got older, I started seeing him cry. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. Then I became a waterhead. But I it's become where when you learn these things, right, you do better because you have to change the next generation. And so we're put like this, especially in our communities. What's the first sport we teach our boys how to play?
Football.
Football, basketball.
That's it. We don't teach them golf. We don't teach them this. We don't teach them debate. We don't teach them
Baseball,
Chess.
fishing.
soccer.
Bowling.
Yeah, things that you can do for
Theater
yeah,
even.
yeah.
There's a big demand
That's
on
right.
Black male theater. These kids can go get a full ride scholarship to prestige schools for acting.
Yep.
But most of our young Black males, families will say, well, theater, you got to put on makeup. Your boys don't
You
wear
gotta wear
makeup.
tights.
You got to wear tights. You got to be, oh, you must, and it's not about that. There's other options and there's other ways to get college scholarships.
Yet we'll dress them up for Halloween in all the costumes.
Exactly. That makes, yeah.
The thing is, like you said in the beginning, it starts here. I mean, we can't look back at the past because they can't teach us nothing right now. It starts here. And at the end of the day, if they are living by other people's approval, they will die
Yeah,
by their rejection.
yeah.
Cool, man.
And if you know what, you are absolutely right. I was telling my father this morning, we were having our breakfast counseling session, that it even at that age, I had built up so much tough guy persona. I was for 10th grade, I think I may have been above 60, maybe buck 80 at the I was on the football field and we were having a pit with each other. I called out the biggest, strongest Negro that I can find, Ena Jackson. And I screamed his name and said, I want you. That's how my mind worked. I want the biggest, baddest. Come on, let's get in this thing room. I gave him every bit of everything I could. And fights. I lost every fight I had when I picked on somebody.
As it should be.
Exactly. But the ones where somebody picked on me, I was brutal. Well, yeah, let me stop on some of these stuff. But yeah,
I mean, the kids, they seek their parents' approval. I don't think that parents dress enough that it's okay.
To mess up.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
that's a good point.
It is okay. And I think that's what's killing our generation now. They looking to make parents proud, and that's good. Trust me, that is.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, parents are not telling you that it's okay. Whether you win or lose, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right, man.
When they lose, we tell them, go harder. You ain't go hard enough. You know, and it does something psychologically to a child, especially in our communities, because most of our boys don't grow up with father figures. They don't grow with males in their life to teach them. High quality men are not around in our communities. So, and I know this from mentoring at DeSoto. I mentored thousands of children. And a lot of them just didn't know what a man looked like. A real man to them was future little baby. Exactly, and that's who. And so even in those, you look at that part of it. Look at what the dope dealers do. They mess with these little girls. So you grow up thinking that's what I'm supposed to do. Now you bringing the stigma on them same little girls that your mama got. And so your mama don't tell you about
Not the mama.
it. Yeah. I'm saying, look at, just check this out. Look at how many D-boys that were in their 20s, 30 years old, and their baby mama be 17.
Mm-hmm.
The mamas don't talk about that with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
It just
they do with the ones that's fascinated by what they. If they in their 30s, I guarantee you, a 30-year-old woman is not fascinated by somebody rolling around on some dates or shadows and all that other kind of. They not fascinated by that.
Yeah.
You know that.
You got to come correct.
That impresses that.
I need you to be accountable. We got some things we got to talk about. You're probably not a good communicator.
Yeah.
All the things that it takes to make my life go around, we're going to have to talk about it.
But it's not being talked about because, again, the parents are too busy trying to be YouTube fabulous and Facebook fabulous and Instagram fabulous. So our young women don't understand that you are supposed to be treated a certain type of way. You are delicate. You know, these women now, these young girls don't know about a man opening a car door for them. They don't understand that you should really be looking for a partner, somebody who can partner with you. You're supposed to make this person better. This person's supposed to make you better. They're taught what they're watching, their aunts and moms do.
They're product of their own environment.
Yeah.
They're taught chaos.
Exactly. And they're taught that you're supposed to do this for me, and because I'm a girl, right? It's the truth. And that goes to some of that mental health. That goes back to mental health too, because then these women end up from 15 to 21 thinking they're nothing because these men have done them so wrong with all these different women, with all these different situations, with the being with this girl and sleeping at that house next door for 2 days. You understand what I'm saying? So then these women, these young women that are going to grow up to be mothers and grandmothers are hurt, and they're passing that same hurt down and that mental anguish because now every time they get in a relationship, they automatically feel like, well, this is going to end up just like this. And I'm going to do this because all my other relationships have caused me to feel this way. That's back to that PTSD.
Well, it's the cycle repeats, right? And somewhere along the way, we've lost, as women, we have lost the femininity and we have lost the knowledge of our divine power.
That's a word.
I agree.
Me and too. We have gotten very selfish, and we're really, if we're actually listening, when a woman is telling us, I want somebody to take care of me, it's a message behind the message. But because we're so selfish, we think, oh, you're not finna get none of my shit, and we put a guard up when we really have let go of a good woman. But because we want our things, because we don't want to share, you didn't help me get here. What?
Okay, can I chime in on that? When you said what the woman says she wants, this can go both ways, man or woman. Do they really want that? If they really find a person that they give them that, or they want to adhere to making that better, are they going to adhere to it being a partnership?
Sorry,
or is it just going to be, okay, you pay the bill, you do this, all that, and I'm still living my life?
That's not what they're asking for, though. That's the problem. If you lead, a woman will naturally follow. It's true. Because, well, the problem is we're not willing to make a pivot. If I bring in somebody who is emotionally damaged into my world, and I know it, and I still decide that I want to be with this person, there's going to have to be pivots within our relationship. And as a leader, I'm the one that have to make those pivots. I can't look, I ain't never met a woman who truly want to live their life alone. Not one. And I've never met one
That's not what I'm saying. though.
when that if I'm giving them correct leadership, that they'll lead.
But that's not what I'm saying.
What defines correct leadership? Come on, Tori.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in order for you or her to be there, you both have to want to be there. I don't know what you're doing as a man. If she don't want to be there, it's not gonna work.
But that's because y'all.
No, you said no. You meant to say, well,
And I'm going to tell you why. It's because if that's the case, it's a feeling, and that is not a relationship. It never was. Feelings of love is not a relationship. Commitment is. If I'm committed, no matter what, I ain't going nowhere. But,
Not a no matter what.
well, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you can hit upside the head. or
Even
constant,
that, if we're not growing together, if we're not compatible anymore, we may have been at one point, but as time moves on, there has to be some level of evolution. And if we're not moving in the same direction, then somebody is not going to be feeling that anymore,
and I think
no matter how good you're
that's the
providing or
pivot
not.
that I was talking about.
Okay.
If the man pivots and reminds, this is where we're going, this is what we need to do, this is how we can get there, and then she says, well, this is what I want to do, then I have to make some pivot in my leadership in that household, so we both are growing together. That's the commitment.
okay.
Saying the word leader. People take the word leader as
It's dictatorship.
It's what I say.
Yeah.
Leadership
That's not
takes a
it.
high, intelligent, emotionally intelligent person to be a conducive, productive leader. Because you have to sometimes pivot what you thought your plan was going to be. You know what? Well, let me step back and go this route because this right here seems to be working. I listened to what she said, or I listened to what he said, and let me reroute this because
Yep.
that's the type of leader I am. But it goes back to that emotional
Intelligence.
Maturity.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the thing that I'm saying. If you or her don't want to be there, I don't care how you pivot. It's not going to work. That's what
That
I'm
means
saying.
y'all never in a relationship.
But
You were never in a relationship. If
You-
I get
you-
tired of you one day and just say,
you-
I don't want to leave.
you're not listening to what I'm saying. You made the statement. I said it's not going to work unless you both going to want to be here. That's all I was saying.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Unless you both want to be here. What's up?
It says it's a partnership. It is. And if that's the thing, if you don't want to be here, that's your feelings. Commitment says I don't want to be here,
But I'm
but
work to be here.
come on, man. It is
That's
not.
a commitment. You just,
I did. Did I not start off saying commitment? I said the problem is we're not committed. I said love is just a word. We got to have commitment. Because if you don't, then that's easy. If you don't want to be here and then I can just leave, that means I was never committed. A relationship is through the thick, thin, through the bad, the ugly, through the great, the beautiful. I'm in here and I'm in here forever. Now, there are situations where, I mean, if you're getting slapped around or either or, women hit men too. Don't get that twisted. That's a whole nother subject. But or he or she is cheating and they're not really committed to the relationship, then yeah, that's not gonna work. But if I tell you that we're in this for the long haul, then we're in this for the long haul. And sometimes, so you're right. Sometimes you just move on. I did, and it wasn't her fault. I was an addict, and it was unfair to her.
It would be great for two grown people to come to the realization, okay, it's not going to work.
It's true.
That would be great. But it doesn't always end that way.
No, most of
It doesn't always end that way. Well, it ends with a man or female putting hands on each other. Sometimes it's been that way. Sometimes it end the way with the man or the one cheating on the other. Sometimes it ends that way. It's not right. Not right. Not at all. It's not right.
I have a question. But my question's gonna take us back to,
Mental health.
yes. It's gonna take us
Where we
back to
began.
health. Do you guys feel like, because I know you said you mentor in DeSoto
Mhm.
a lot. Do you see, are there places for programs? Do they have sons out of school, or daughters out of school? So are there programs for that are trying to show or teach kids about mental awareness? Do we have any of these kind of programs going on? Like, remember drug, what was it?
This,
Dare?
yeah.
Do we have anything for because it seems like really that's the generation that's affected with all the school shootings. These kids have PTSD going to kindergarten now because of the school
Right.
shootings. So is there like where it's mandatory to have PE and what is it, art class? Is it mandatory for these kids to take a mental health class
No.
or to understand what mental health is? So when they see it with their peers, they can identify it.
Not from my experience. My personal experience is that when that's how David and I know each other. My personal experience, I just saw a problem. And I said, this don't make sense. Went down to Dr. Lamb's office and said, give me a 9-word school, return to school. They didn't have to go to class, they can come up and work wherever I was working. All of them graduated. They're the ones that they said never would, but their friends followed. That's how we turned the school around. I think the thing that is
Good.
the
How can I help
problem. Yeah, man, we recording. Sorry about that. Yeah. But one of the things that bothered me the most was that out there.
He wasn't feeling people. He just, yeah.
I mean, you see us didn't. Okay.
We right. Mhm.
Say we.
But when the pushback, it came from the adults. It came from the principals. I had a couple of them that really supported the board members. Like we weren't no nonprofit. It was just some men saying, "Hey, let's take these boys and do something," because there is no avenue for them. They have to tell the counselor, and most of the counselors don't have psychology degrees. They just try to point you in a direction to get you out of school.
So is that like something that should be brought up to like the school, like to the school board? Maybe. I mean, I know you're starting, the whole Beautiful Scars thing, and it's so how could we put something in place or try to get something started for mental health for kids in the school?
It's going to take somebody with some paper behind. What I mean by that, they need to have a degree that specializes in that. They can put together, okay, this is the program, and then somebody who is still relevant to be able to talk to these children. Because if you ain't been out on them streets, how am I going to talk to you about what them streets are about? It's like somebody coming in telling me about alcoholism. What? No, that's fine. You're alcoholic. I was addicted. You know, and so how can I talk to some of those boys that I mentor and females as well about, all right, this is what you need to do with your dope. I understand you're taking care of mom, but this is how you budget. This is how you break this down so you can start investing in yourself. Because if you're not replacing the money they making when they taking care of mom, when they're having to get up and take brother and sister to school, after being out in them streets all night, they not listening to you. So it takes both that person with that degree that can put together a program and somebody who's actually been there. And I'm not yet. I'm retired.
We're glad you retired.
Yeah,
We're glad you were able to retire.
that man of that. That was a good question, and I wonder how many people actually care, that actually like cares what's going on in our school system.
So I work with a program. I work with a nonprofit that works with the program through the United Way. Did y'all get that? I work with a nonprofit
Mhm.
that works with the program um, through the United Way, and we actually go into the schools to teach the children yoga and meditation. And then they
Ooh.
have other programs. They're teaching dance and teaching art. So there are different cohorts in this program. But here's the thing, it stops at middle school. So we're starting at kindergarten, first grade or kindergarten, I think, and going up through seventh and eighth grade.
Mhm.
But after that, then our high school kids are,
Up to their own body.
yeah. And still, even with this program, they're only taking a few select students. I don't know what the criteria is, but from my understanding, it's children who are in danger of attendance violations.
Truancy.
Yes,
Okay.
that's my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, that
And I
is
have been in a class trying to teach a class where it was just so unruly. The powers that be just had to come and shut it down and say, no, this can't be. Because no one in that school can control those children. And this was third grade
wow.
in your school district.
Wow. I can see that. I can. I've seen it. I've always said, and shout out Mr. Beck Smith. He's training the teachers how to. He said something to me that really touched my soul when he said, "I don't want another kid to leave here stupid." No, he said uneducated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said uneducated, and I knew what he was talking about. So he's training the teachers on like how to deal with that because when they get to high school, yeah, it's almost too late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they third grade mental and that's another thing. We think that it doesn't start that early. We are totally misinformed about the how in depth this goes into our children. Third grade is crazy work.
It starts young. I mean, I remember dating. My son was three, 3, 4, 5, 6. The type of man that I wanted to date. I didn't realize I had exposed him at that early age. My son was at 6 years old, sleeping with a baseball bat under his bed sometimes because mom, I just don't know. And you don't, my son never told me. I went in his room and found a baseball bat under the bed. Asked him, Cameron, what's going on with this baseball bat? Oh, well, that's in case you and so and so, if he tried to jump on you or say something to you or make you cry, my mom hit him. I think that right there is
It's like a gut punch.
is yeah. I put my baby in harm, like to grow up with the mental complex about dating or anything like that, right? Because of the stuff that he saw. So yeah, that mental health definitely happens, I think, as a child.
What about y'all to like as growing up as young boys to into your teenage years? What was it that made you think the way you did? Good or bad, but like what made like that? That was deep um, because it started
What events happened in your life that shaped
to heal me.
the
Man,
way
that
that you
was
think?
Great question. I'm trying to see. My father's passing affected me greatly.
Mm-hmm.
What I can recall of his passing is he was teaching me how to hang up a sweater without stretching out the neck. I don't know if I told the story already. But then he told me he was going to the restroom. He'll be right back. Last words I heard him say was, Myron, bring my cigarettes. Myron is my oldest brother. I was 7, by the way. Next thing I know, I don't know how long it had been past, I saw something rolling behind the sofa. On it. Now I know it was a gurney because of the white sheet over it.
Mhm.
So my father's passing affected me, and I still think about a lot of stuff today. That my mother being a single parent, she never remarried. She did have, male friends and what have you, but never remarried. And I wonder a lot, what life would have been like if I had my father there, or if I had a steady man there in the house. So I think it's a number of things that affected me. I think.
Mhm.
Yes. She told her.
What was the question?
Thank
How
Was
was
invested.
this
yeah,
company? What was supposed to
the events
be?
that
Be wearing that?
Your thought process growing up as a young man.
Oh, one of them. I always had that. My dad passed in '07. That's the day I said I would not sell it. Because I was afraid to leave my mom. So the impact that he had on me, his last word, take care of your mom. He told all my brothers, take care of your mom. So I tried to adhere to what he said, and I stopped selling drugs. I was selling drugs with him. So in 2000, that was in '07.
mm-hmm.
2000, into 2010, 2010, I got caught up. Feds came in. I left the book for from 11 till 19. I came home in 2018. But I made that mistake well before my dad passed. But his last words were, I'm there to see him pass. He's passed with sarcoidosis. So I went to see him to the hospital every day. I said I would not ever sell drugs to him. Ever. And anyway, I got my mom anyway.
How did that make you feel? That happened, like just
She, I was strong. But to this day, it's still, it's like, I was selfish. Very hard on myself because of this. I feel like I was extremely selfish. So I thought I was weak. But, at that time, my dad was living along with mom. But that was my mom.
I'm gone.
I guess I'm about to tell you, I haven't cried yet.
Yeah.
Stop. Oh,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What we talking about? Yeah.
This is a safe space.
Yeah. And it is, too, because it is. We had to get those things out, especially when you pinpoint. Though I really believe those guys where God is speaking in the darkness. Um, I mine was my best friend. That shit fucked me up. I was talking to a friend of mine. She said when he died, I saw you. I lost myself. I was gone. And I started drinking 17. And because I didn't know how to explain how I felt. Because the first one, because you have ADHD, you live in a fantasy world. When things go bad, your mind automatically tries to build up your dopamine. And so I, during the entire funeral, was waiting on him to give up and say, I got your ass. And when it didn't happen, we had to put him in the back of the ice float. Took 5 grown men off. And my daddy came to just touch me. He said, calm down. And then when they put him in the grave, it happened again. And I swallowed his death like a rock. And that shit made me constipated with feelings. I had no feelings. And I became a savage. I was mean as hell. And I hurt people. I asked y'all to forgive me. I was conniving. And I allowed that to shape who I have become. And this, I was so disappointed in God. I would go to church every Sunday, dressed in some t-shirts, sweats, and house shoes. I would start smoking. I ain't never smoked. My daddy didn't smoke. I come from a very good household, man. We was like the Cosbys, and so I became a product of my environment. And I was fine with it because I could survive it. And he was the only person I ever really trusted that I could tell everything to and never feel judged. He never made me feel like shit. And that's really why I'm so damn mean. I know I'm mean, and I don't deny it. And so I have to control my emotions because my feelings want to go there. I had to do it right then. I was going to say something that like because that's
Yeah, sure.
is it? But that's kind of. I get what you're saying. I get what everybody up here is saying, man. But that's how the community changes by opening up. And there are going to be people who watch this after we're done and say, man, I've been going through the same thing. Because each story is very unique, but it needs to be told. And so much so that Crystal still haven't told us hers. So
She said she'll get to that. I think we're gonna hear hers next week.
that's it.
That sounds good. I don't have a mic. Don't move. You good?
Look, motherfucker, you won't hear what you want to do. Ooh, that was. I always say it's something about this place. It told me, hey, first time I was in here, I think the spirit moves and it opens us up. And my dad always talks about how the Bible, Paul talks about these crack pots where you can see on the inside, but it's through those cracks. You gotta allow people to see through because what they'll see is actually beautiful scars. They'll see the kilos. It ate us up internally, show on the outside, but it's healing in there. That's the beautiful thing. It's time. We're getting to. We don't have a mind. Let's start off with our last words. Everybody looked at you. So I just joined the group.
For me, it was, I walk away from different situations. I'm cool with that. Cool with even whoever it is, my friend, my brother, whatever. I'm cool with even it right here. Moving on to something else. identify you in the situation. Bring in peace. You know, if you're spreading your peace, then of course you can't function right. Because you so concerned about this or whatever. Okay, this is gonna make me feel like this, like that. And spreading your mental peace. It's okay to move. It's okay to connect yourself wherever you go. It's how you have issues. That's
I think all I have this week is, as far as mental health. Just know that it's okay, like you said, to be okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be like someone else, or your situation not be like someone else's. It's okay to not be normal. There's no such thing as normal. So yeah, I think every day you just wake up and you're promised a new day. It's a new page in the book. It's a new chapter. So start that day off every day a little bit different than the day before, and I think just keep pressing forward. Just try to be someone's blessing. Try to be someone's blessing, even if that means you just sit and listen sometimes and take yourself out of it. I think a lot of times we put ourselves back into it and go, well, yeah, you know what? I'm like that too. Oh, yeah, not. Sometimes people don't need that. Sometimes you have to take yourself out to fully be engaged with somebody else. So, I think that's it. Does that work?
Well, what I want to say is mental health is real. Mental illness is real. And you have to recognize, well, not necessarily recognize, you have to, recognize when you are having an episode or not feeling right or whatever. It's not okay to say, I'm okay. And you're not really okay. So, if you need to talk to someone, get somebody you talk to that you can trust to talk to. And it'll be okay. Just know that talking will help. It's helping me out right now. It helps me all the time when I'm around you all. So, yeah, it's good to talk.
Yes, sir.
But mine is like be honest with yourself. When somebody asks you how you're doing, don't respond blessed, positive, favorite. That's not a feeling. That's what you are. You are blessed, and you're blessed enough to understand that there are people, therapists that have gone to school and can help you. Go get help. These scars do heal. I promise you. I'm living proof of it. It may leave you with some ugly spots, but it's part of the healing process. And I urge everybody to make sure that they go vote. It is imperative. If you look and see what the system is doing and where we're going, heading with this redlining, go out and vote. Where I don't care who you vote for, but make your voice known some way in that form to decisions where we can have somebody who makes decisions and policies that don't negatively affect us. I love you people. Have a great one. See y'all next week. Go ahead.
Can I apologize for going off script? Heard it.
Nah, man.
I
It's
apologize. We
nah.
were supposed to stick to mental health, and we got into it about
That's this show. You know?
I understand what the show is.
Yeah.
but
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
They might think we hate each other, so yeah. Nah.
like that.
Yeah, I got you.
We just went off script.
That's it,
Talking
man.
about something.
And then I'm also supposed to say next week we'll do the breast cancer episode, and so y'all stay tuned in. If you have had it or you're going through it, you're more than welcome. We have a lot of space in here, and we can make it happen. So we'll see y'all next week, 5 o'clock.
That's mine right there. I'm going on. I don't have a microphone.
Okay.
That's my charge to everybody.
Oh. Look at there. Oh, that's nice. Are we still on?
We on.
Oh.
We still on?
Yeah. I'm looking up there. I'm like, man, this is.
We still on.
Right.